Welcome to the second match of my Timeless Cup PvP tournament. This team is going to be fairly interesting because this is the first time I'm seeing Beedrill for Timeless Cup. To be fair, I have heard about Beedrill here and there. I was considering using a Beedrill myself because I had it left over from the Jungle Cup. Unfortunately, I didn't really get a good opportunity to fit in my team. I just couldn't find a way to squeeze it in while having chemistry. Thinking more about maybe be a fair alternative to my Sunny Castform, I just have to look up at its strengths and weaknesses. But I think most people that would consider using Beedrill would use it as a fire type alternative, because the bug typing does super effective damage against grass types. Plus it also gets access to poison moves, which are also good for the grass. But this isn't just about Beedrill, he has a whole team that I have to analyze around. And with the Lapras on the field, I feel like it's finally showtime. So in my head I am thinking about that Lapras, and what else I can bring to cover my other weaknesses. I am really eyeing my Sunny Castform to use against the Beedrill, because it's the only Pokemon I have on this team that does super effective damage. Plus, I think it could be useful for the Venusaur. I don't have high hopes of it against the Lapras. It worked very well against Celio, but I feel like Laprases would be more likely to have the water move in their arsenal, because the common moveset that people recommend for Lapras in this cup is Ice Charge, Surf, and Skull Bash. So, if you can't tell, I'm really struggling to try to figure out what to do with the Venusaur. I also see that Stunk Tank hiding in the corner there, and maybe Quagsire would actually work well for that, because it could actually do super effective damage with Mud Shock and Earthquake. I think Kingdra would be a good option for Dragoneer, but so would Snowy Castform. Let's skip over to when I actually build my team together and see what I ultimately decide to go with for my leading battle. Looks like I'm gonna lead off with... Oh, I think I'm like, screw it. I gotta do it at least once this tournament. It's the only reason I brought to use a double Castform. So I have Sunny Castform, Ice Castform, and Venusaur, because I have to have something for Wish Cast and maybe a few other water types. Which leads me into wishing I led with Venusaur. Very wishy, very hard. But this is where I actually think Frost Castform comes to shine, because I'm in my head like, shocked. If I go straight into my Venusaur, he's gonna swap into like his Charizard or something, and then I lose my Venusaur against the Wish Cast. So I go into Ice Castform initially as a middle ground, but as I'm actually using it, mine's just how spammy Mud Bomb is. It's actually doing incredible work against the Wish Cast. I guess I just underestimated how powerful it would be because it would only be doing neutral damage, but dang, bro! Maybe, just maybe the IV set is bad. But I'm pretty sure it's actually just because of how good Water Ball is. Considering this Castform, I think it's well worth using the shield, especially if I save my Water Ball for the next Pokemon coming up. Just barely enough health. I can even get my Ice Beam out. Funny thing, I never actually explained what was going on with Ice Yeah, the thing I love and hate the most about Pokemon Go PvP. The whole tapping thing. I thought I was tapping the whole charge move, but maybe I was a little... I think in reality what happened was I was still in the whole mindset of Rocket Radars, where Rocket Fights, where they don't start attacking until afterwards. At the most inconvenient time, I know. But I mean, like, I get the strategy behind that sort of thing, but I also kind of wish that... I wish there was a little more compromise and all that. But that's not the way it is. It's my own fault for not having my finger on Water Ball or not. I think it ultimately just boiled down to me not being able to make up my mind if using Ice Beam over Water Ball would be worth it. Because I really wanted to have Blizzard on that freaking Castform, but I didn't have enough TMs. But I wasn't sure if Ice Beam was strong enough to justify how spammy the other move is. Speaking of spammy, it always does feel good when you can get 2 charge moves off one after another. I don't think it's going to be enough to save my hide, especially because he had both shields still left. But I personally feel it was a valiant effort. And I learned a lot just how good Castform was against Wish Cast. But here's the thing with me, like, I don't really have too many people that I can practice against. So I'm often forced to just go with my gut in simulations / rankings if I do take the time to look it up to determine how well my Pokemon will work out. I know even if I do simulations, I know I'm not going to think of every possible opportunity. So a lot of my knowledge comes just on field research and learning on the fly. Let me see how this next match starts up. I can see I'm still analyzing, like going, that Ice Castform actually worked pretty well. Maybe I don't even need the Venusaur. And then I remember which cast exists, so I'm pretty sure that idea is going to get shot fairly quickly. If nothing else, this has been a real good learning experience. Normally I only do 1 tournament a month. But with how early this one was, in case I don't have a note, this tournament took place on December 8th, which is pretty much like the first weekend of the month. In theory, I would have time to like squeeze over to another tournament. It's just there aren't too many local tournaments in our area. There's the one at the college that you're seeing now, and the Buffalo area does one other tournament. I think everything else is in Canada, and I'm not that hardcore. So let's see, have I decided what to bring yet? Looks like it. I think I ultimately just decided to swap in Quagsire with Sunny Castform. I thought I was done, but guess not. I guess it's the main switch I make. Catching that Wish Cast is really gonna make or break these battles. And what do you know? Hook, line, and sinker. Having the switch advantage is going to work out fairly well for me. I can go right into my Ice Castform, the thing I was saving specifically for Dragonair, and it's not working out quite as well as I was hoping. Like, I thought Snowy Castform would at least do such as hard of work against Dragonair as it did against Castform. Because it's super effective damage and all, and I mean, like, I do have Water Ball, but this is real early on, so he's just gonna shield them all. Dragon Breath just look at all this damage. He hasn't even done an Aqua Tail to me yet. He might just be saving them to torment me later on. All my Castform was really able to do was waste away his shields, which is better than nothing. And I will admit, in hindsight, that's an impressive amount of damage considering like he blocked all my charge attacks, but it just... how much damage my Castform took in return compared to some of the other things I faced off against, like the Celio, and even the Wish Cast. Dragonair just wiped the floor with Castform in comparison to those guys. With that said, with my Castform gone, Quagsire is pretty much my only answer, so that's why I'm going to him. He's pretty much the middleman at this point. Hoping I can finish him off. I mean, at least he has no shield, so I can just, like, charge attack away. Frick. Venusaur being the last Pokemon kind of threw me off, because, like, that 1 second of hesitation of, do I switch or do I just go for it? Kind of just I think probably cost me this battle. If I would have gone for the Earthquake right away, because I had it stored up ready to go, I might have been able to take out the Venusaur with my Quagsire. Unfortunately, I'm forced to block this. And on the bright side, I think it's just his Wish Cast left. So I am definitely going to win this. Doing a Frenzy Plant just to be on the safe side. But hey, this battle would have been even safer for me if I was a little less hesitant with the Quagsire and all. And that's another thing I wish they changed about PvP. Like, why do you have to go into a box to switch? When time is such a critical thing, those 2 seconds you take to actually switch your Pokemon, and you can lose a guy. Like, I like to actually be able to think about what Pokemon I'm gonna choose, and just go for it. That one second where I have to pull out my menu just feels like an unfair advantage or disadvantage. Because, like, I may not memorize who's in my second slot, who's in my third slot. I don't have it memorized exactly where I have to have my thumb as I'm doing it, and, like, try to navigate my hand to those motions. It's like 2 seconds that I would waste that could have been spent doing fast attacks. If we had your second Pokemon on the left corner of the screen and the third Pokemon on the right corner of the screen, I would actually be able to see my options as I'm fighting away and be able to switch. Even if you want to just artificially add like a second where they can do damage to you and while your Pokemon's going in the Pokeball. I feel like that would be better than losing that time trying to navigate through a menu, because it would be consistent. I feel like with the current system, it could take one person several seconds to navigate through all that, and another person a millisecond to navigate through all that. Something as simple as just having the Pokemon to the side that you can swap to with a single press of the button without pulling out that menu leaves out any room for hesitation, because you can, with this system, you could just think while you're tapping. I feel like that would make things a bit more fair without taking away the strategic elements of PvP. I only emphasize all that because I know they tried to make changes and the community backlashed against it. But I think there's a way to find a fair middle ground where you don't have to pause the action in order to switch. You can just have the option to switch and it would all work out. Excuse me for all my ramblings, I just had to get that out there while it was on my mind. Let's just go into the final battle for this match. Let's see, it looks like I'm gonna go with Venusaur, Kingdra, and Castform, though do I really want to expect him to lead with the Wish Cast twice in a row, especially considering how much of an advantage I have? The answer is no. So I'm gonna throw Kingdra out there first. Like, I think Kingdra's... I have to actually double check to see what my Kingdra's good for. Nah, Beedrill. Kingdra would give me advantage against the Dragonair, and I think that's it. I guess in my head I wasn't familiar of everything Kingdra would be good against, so it may still have an advantage. In my head, it could still have an advantage in neutral situations like against Wish Cast and Stunk Tank and Beedrill, but think more about it. I think Stunk Tank would be the only thing it had advantage of, and that's assuming like it has Flamethrower and not Poison moves on its arsenal. Okay, back to the battle. So, I see very quickly that this isn't working out, but apparently my opponent didn't like the matchup either, and was willing to give me the switch advantage to go into their Venusaur. It's kinda close, but it is about time for a Frenzy Plant, so I block because Kingdra cannot take a Frenzy Plant for all his beans. As you can see there, I tried to frickin' switch, misclicked, but decided to go with it anyways because I was built up to an outrage. This way at least I get a shield taken care of for my blunder, but I think that only adds to my point. I should have totally hit. I did everything I needed to. That should have registered as me swapping over to the Castform in the first place, so I could have had the outrage for later on. But if I lose this, I'm not gonna blame the game, because honestly, I admit that I suck. But considering how much I suck, I do hold my own fairly well, I believe. And we're in with the Dragonair, and I'm forced to stay in. So I should have probably gone for that Water Ball sooner. In my head, I guess I was considering building up, but like seeing how fastly Dragon Breath was just tearing me a new one. Yeah, it's best I didn't try to save the Water Ball. Going to my Kingdra, the good old Dragonair counter, which the more I think about it, the less I think that this actually makes a good Dragonair counter. What was I thinking? It has a water quick move. Dragonair probably doesn't matter like that. It resists the Aqua Tail if it takes super effective damage against the frickin' move. If it's gonna die to the frickin' move that's supposed to just build up energy for other things. And we're in a situation of Venusaur versus Beedrill, which means I've lost. Because even though Venusaur takes neutral damage, you see how good that X-Scissor is. I'm post. I had nothing to do with that situation. So just enjoy the lovely technological wonders of Pokemon Go. Alright, last but hopefully not least is my battle against Brett. This was a 4-round tournament, but I did get a bye for that last round. Let's be real, it's because I suck. So yeah, let's just get into it after that awkward feeling I pushed for myself. And speaking of interesting battles, we got an interesting team going on here. Speaking of interesting, like I think he actually was able to squeeze in a couple purified Pokemon in the last one, the Ferocious Cup, which I found interesting. I think it was like a purified Sandslash. Forgot if there was like one other one or not, but someone used the purified Beedrill before, which I think was him or not, but I'm getting off topic here. So we got Stuntank, Tentacruel, Wishcast, Blaziken, Victory Bell, and Dragonair. I think you guys are noticing a pattern with Timeless Cup. If you didn't choose Venusaur as your starter, you pretty much had to have Victory Bell on your team, because that is a fan favorite when it comes to Grass Poison type. It's not the only grass option, but it's one of the better options on there, and I think a lot of people draw themselves towards it because of the whole acid spray. Which I can remind myself that for time travel, but you'll see. So figuring out what to bring against this. I feel like obviously Blaziken's gonna do nice work against my Snowy Castform. And while it may be a fair option against Dragonair and Wishcast, probably even Victory Bell if I can get it out there in the right time frame. There is a lot for Castform to compete against, if only because of the Blaziken. Still, I think the whole Tentacruel and Stuntank make a prime opportunity for Quagsire to shine. Maybe, possibly. I'll admit I probably should be a bit more familiar with how well Quagsire faces against Tentacruel. I'm not even gonna speculate over why I decided to bring it. I'm just gonna skip over to when I start building a team to face off against it. So I think I decided to try something a little radical with this, and actually lead off with my Snowy Castform. I think my idea is if I can create a situation of using Snowy Castform as bait, either for shields, or to catch the lead off guard, that could give me the advantage I need. I am convinced that Quagsire will do good against the poison types, And Dragonair is going to be my answer for that Blaziken if it comes out. And Dragonair's... I keep underestimating how good Dragonair is in this cup just because I find myself not seeing too many super effective situations. And I'm so hard program, I should say, into the core games where I am hesitant to bring out anything if it doesn't have a super effective advantage, which is a kind of bad situation for PvP Pokemon Go, because it's based a lot more around numbers rather than if you just have a type advantage. Because there's like situations where a Pokemon is a hard counter to another Pokemon, even if it only does neutral damage because of the lead. And I think I found myself in the exact opposite situation that I was trying to promote, where I got my Quagsire baited into that Victory Bell. At least now I have a nice lead for my Castform to come in to start wearing away at some shields or just taking out the Victory Bell flat out. And we're pretty much even up. I have one shield over his, so that is a good advantage in of itself. Just like in a situation where I still have to wait out the timer. Is it worth considering my Castform at all? I just feel like I'm gonna use a shield because I have the advantage. I didn't want my Water Balls to go to waste, but then I realized Acid Spray was a thing and I'm just like, shots. Take all the shots for how much I goof up. But at least now I can just like spam Water Balls until he either wastes the rest of his shields or I take out Tentacruel. Either be good. Probably not gonna get to either. I think I'm starting to realize just how nice having Ice Beam is. Blizzard would be the better option, but Ice Beam does enough damage, at least more than Water Ball. Then if I'm in a situation where I wear away the shields, I can just like go to town. At least this time I don't fall for the bait. My defense is harshly lowered, which is kind of sucky considering I'm pretty much going toe to toe against this last Pokemon in a weakened state. But at least I have one shield to work with because I didn't waste it on an Acid Spray. Getting that last shield down is nice because I probably could have gone for the return, but if I did, I wouldn't have had it. It would have been wasted from the shield. So I can block this attack, go right for my Aqua Tail, and we'll see if I'm able to pull this out. It's going to be a close one, folks. As I say, with me having minuscule health and his health being halfway filled, when I only have a 3-bar move to release. A good 3-bar move, but a 3-bar move nevertheless. Onwards to the second battle though, I suppose. Alright, I think my game plan this time is to lead off with Kingdra being my Blaziken answer instead of Quagsire, just because Kingdra could probably double as some other things. Though this is what I get for like jumping too soon. I am actually doing the frickin' double Castform again. To be fair, Snowy Castform has fared me well before, and so has Sunny Castform on the same team, I don't know. But I guess I just didn't have a better answer for Tentacruel. I keep forgetting, you know the problem, I keep forgetting that Waterfall is my quick move, so I think of, ooh, Water type, I resist. And I do neutral damage, and nope. I just gave his Victory Bell a nice snack. But at least this is an interesting situation I'm in. Either of these Pokemon are gonna like do fantastic work against this Victory Bell. I guess I'm convinced I should save the Snowy Castform for later, but to be fair, I probably should have gone into Icy Castform because it's gonna be wrecked by the Tentacruel a little bit less than the Sunny Castform. But at least I have like, I can start spamming Water Balls, maybe Solar Beams. A little surprised that he went into the Stunk Tank. But, yeah, I'm sure he has his own plans. At least I'm able to waste the shields, go into the double Water Ball. I think from some of these battles I find that it does fairly well, at least as well as some of the other Pokemon I've had. And now I'm stuck with Snowy Castform against the Tentacruel. Oh, freaking fantastic for me. But at least, even though it's not very effective damage, the Tentacruel's already been weakened a bit. Don't tell me I actually go for an Ice Beam when it's that low on health. Please tell me I actually save the energy for the Tentacruel. I guess it doesn't matter because it got blocked, and at least it wasn't a Blizzard, because that would have made me feel so heartbroken to have the frickin' Blizzard blocked. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought he still had a shield. I don't know what I was thinking, but I can admit when I done goof. But depending on how much health I have left, we may not be in a horrible situation. I mean, we're about the same health. I have the more spammy move. We'll see if saving it up for Ice Beam instead actually pays off. I do believe this comes a lot closer than you might expect. Either way, I think it's pretty clear that I need to do some more homework on Tentacruel, because if my best answer to it is not very effective moves, then I may have a problem. Maybe. Honestly, the stats this round is going to all come down to how much damage the Sweater Ball does, and it's just barely enough. Except he still has one more Pokemon. Well, look how little health that Stunk Tank have left. I say it was fairly close. But you know what they say, close only means anything with horseshoes and cigars. I butchered that saying so closely. But I guess anything that involves cigars is gonna get butchered by me somehow. So starting up this last round, last battle I should say, we're in a situation where he's won, but you know, I only do this once a month typically, and I come a long way just to battle Pokemon. I spend a lot of Stardust and resources to battle Pokemon. I might as well battle all the Pokemon I can, because otherwise it'd be a waste, especially with the horrible losing streak I've been having lately. If I'm not gonna win, I'm gonna at least play. And I'm leading off with Dragonair, kinda just as a YOLO card. And in hindsight, return Dragonair against a Tentacruel may not be a bad counter after all. I may need to play some mind games with deciding when to use Aqua Tail to bait. Speaking of baiting, you think oh, I did learn my lesson. Don't mind the fool not paying attention to his own gameplay. But this is the one thing about this matchup I see. I do see it possible for me to pull up, but I really have to rely on... I have to count on him actually blocking the Aqua Tails. If he catches on, then I'm trying to bait his shields, then it's over. At least this way, I'm either going to waste a shield or take out his Pokemon. And with how bad of a shape my Dragonair is, I'm content with either or. Kinda got affected by the Acid Spray anyway, so my Dragonair wasn't going to do too much. Just gotta hope that there's no Blaziken hiding in the back or anything like that. And I guess I'm just forced to use my Snowy Castform at this point. I'm not sure if it's a great Stunk Tank counter, but it's a better Stunk Tank counter than the Pokemon that's specifically meant to counter grass types like Venusaur. With how nice of a chunk damage freaking Weather Ball did of all things, and I'm feeling pretty good. It's just a matter of like watching out for crunch, because this is it's pretty strong against my Castform. I block it, I lose a shield on something that I can get energy back up to fairly quickly. I let it hit me, and you see the results of when it hits me. Still, I'm in a fairly good state right now, so I might as well use one of my shields, just to ensure that I get a bit more damage off before Castform goes down. It'd be a shame to let the Water Ball go to waste and all. And the Castform finishes off the Stunk Tank, which means my Victory Bell goes down, or my Castform goes down to the Victory Bell, which is a very unfortunate situation, but at least I have one shield, I have Sledge Bomb, so I think I can win this matchup, because the shield will allow me to block any poison move that comes my way, and I can do neutral damage back. Except I forgot about the Acid Spray. I don't think it's gonna matter. I think I think blocking the Acid Spray would actually still be the right decision, because I was so close to getting the Sludge Bomb to finish it off that I couldn't really afford to take any sort of damage. So, I mean, technically I've lost all my matches, but I haven't lost every battle. And at the end of the day, we all can't be winners. We can just hope not to be complete losers. Thank you all for sticking in with me through these PvP battles. I'll admit, I feel bad for you guys that I've lost 2 tournaments in a row. Honestly, I could care less about if I win or lose personally, because I do this to have fun, but considering that part of that fun is making content out of it for the interwebs, I feel like eventually losing over and over becomes less entertaining. But I think this style that I'm gonna try to push going forward of recording commentary for these matches the day I have the battles will help out a lot. With the battles fresher in my mind, I'll be able to have better commentary, be able to actually talk about why I made certain decisions, how I've learned from my mistakes. I think all that will not only make me a better battler, but make these videos more entertaining, actually have purpose to the loss and all that. With that said, I can see with the fact that I haven't even touched the Ferocious, or should I say the Ferocious Cup yet in commentary, you're probably going to have a little bit of a time paradox getting this first, but it'll be worth it just because I know that this commentary is probably better than some of the other ones I have. I feel it's better than some of the better cups I've had, just because the battles are fresher on my mind. Enough rambling aside. I think if I do another Timeless Cup this month, a lot of it will depend on if I can find another Timeless Cup to do this month. I do have a few particular adjustments I want to make. First, double Castform was fun, but I think it's time to let it by. I had my fun, but I think with everything I learned about my team, I can go forward. It's gonna be a little hard to say goodbye to Frost Castform just because of how well it did in certain matchups, but Lapras is the more safe conventional pick for an ice type for this cup, for a good reason. So I think this one will serve me well. I just don't have the heart to get rid of Ice Beam, even though Skull Batch is such a fantastic charge move and having water coverage would be nice. Seeing how well Castform did in those matches with just purely ice moves gives me more confidence that I can just keep Lapras as is. I may just need to adjust my team a little bit more to have water types, or learn to trust my Dragonair more. Speaking of adjustments, I am going to give my Meganium a try for this next cup, because unlike Venusaur, it can actually win a matchup against Lapras without relying on Razor Leaf. And the problem with relying on Razor Leaf is that you don't get as many opportunities to get up to your Frenzy Plant. Plus, having Earthquake could save me in a couple matchups that Venusaur wouldn't be able to overcome as well. And honestly, the IVs on both my Venusaur and my Meganium suck. The smartest thing would be to stock up on a new Trickeria for Community Day, but that would require actually finding them, and I don't think I'm going to find them outside of raids because they were the first year of Community Day and not the second year. We'll cross that bridge when they come to it. I don't mind using this poor IV Meganium if I have to. And I may consider just having Quagsire sit out. There was a lot of situations I was hoping on it for that it just didn't work out for, and I did use Quagsire for one tournament, and I'm happy with it. Like, all the Pokemon I'm replacing I wanted to use at least once, even if it hurted my success, and what would you know, it hurted my success. But I at least had fun with them while I did. May also consider switching Castform with Beedrill, just gotta study its niches a bit more before I commit to a decision like that. Would be nice to have at least one Castform. Maybe if I keep Beedrill, I could still have Icy Castform for Lapras. It'd be nice if I could actually like use Lapras in some battles first just to get a feel. Even if I can't find anyone to battle against, that may be a smart idea to just do some things against the gym leaders, just to see how Lapras performs before I commit to anything. It is the go-to pick for Timeless Cup after Dragonair for a reason though. Okay, for real, thank you all for tuning in. If you like what you see, be sure to check out my YouTube, subscribe to not miss out on anything. There's that bell for up-to-date notifications. Get pinged as soon as something comes if you're that excited to see it. I won't blame you if you don't want it though, with how many people I'm personally subscribed to. It does get overwhelming to have it for everyone, so I don't even like have the bell for everything, and I see things on my feed just fine. Just something to consider if you feel like you're losing videos in the void. At the rate I've been pumping out videos, it'll probably be the Ferocious Cup, even if I do another Timeless Cup battle, but we'll just see how things roll. If you want to keep up to date with content release, I do have a calendar up on my website, which you can find a link to in the description of the video, that has the most up-to-date schedule for my upload releases. I update it as I realize things like I don't have the time to get out this video, but I have a backlog of these videos, so I'm going to upload that instead. And I also have a blog that I try to keep up to date with any major changes. I also have a Twitter where I can quickly send out a tweet if I know for sure something needs to be changed. So that is an option as well. All that said, I hope to see you for more content in the future. Take care.